Welcome to a thing. Today this thing will be a tour of the thing in front of you, which is my Lego town. This has been requested by several people who've seen it and want a proper full-on tour, so I'm granting your request. What a benevolent god I am. And yeah, so this is my Lego town. It is quite large, I'm going to be honest. It is on a 6-foot picnic table, and then I made a nice frame out of some leftover wood when we demolished some shelving that was actually here. So yes, quite nice. And let's just crack on with the tour then, and we'll start at this end here, and then we'll go slowly over to the left. But I do actually have some little bonus stuff at the end, stuff that's not in the town, but stuff that I think is very worth showing off. But we'll get onto those in a bit. We'll start then just here at the edge of the beach. I've got a little bin lorry just there, and hopefully that'll focus. There you go, focus eventually. Yeah, a little bin lorry there with our lovely little man there in his weird off-road buggy, and just here's my little beach setup that I've made. So I had two sort of beach hut type things to excuse any dust you might see. It's been a little while since I've given it a nice clean. But then I've got just back here a little girl on a sandcastle there, some people playing volleyball just there. That guy's fallen over while he was fishing. I believe he was on the pier actually, but whoopsie doodle. And then I've got a little girl here waiting for her opportunity to go some nice wakeboarding. Is that the right word? I don't know. Just behind the beach, though, we have some lovely little houses. These are all sets that I've put together for the most part. I mean, a lot of the details you see, like the beach and this part, which we'll get onto in a minute, they have actually been sort of assembled into place by me. But a lot of the buildings you see are actually sets that are or were previously available. So we've got this one here, which is a lovely little sort of, I believe it's a toy shop cum greengrocers, which is a very odd little choice. Now, if I can just try and zoom in, which is rather difficult with only one hand available, holding the microphone with the other. How much can you see in there? Not a lot. It doesn't want to focus on the inside very much, but there is toy shop stuff in there. And then round here we've got what is a lovely little sandwich cafe bar down below, and coupled with just a nice residence on the top, and a florist, if I'm right, on the other side. Yes, I am. And on here we have what is half a bike repair shop and half a deli counter. So that's all lovely. But, you know, what we're actually here for, let's be honest, are all these big fuck-off things here. So let's start at the end. We've got the diner, which is the most recent modular set. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a huge fan of the top bit, the top left. It's not got the biggest amount of detail. They could have done a bit better with that. But otherwise, I love the sort of bottom and this bit here to look like a jukebox. Is really fancy. Big fan of that. Next, we've got last year's modular set, which was Assembly Square, designed to celebrate 10 years of modular Lego sets. So, yeah, we've got the sort of standard things here, but then we've also got, for instance, this little man here, with one of the most recent sets of Lego minifigures. I thought it was more appropriate to go here next to the cake shop there. And, let's not dwell on that and move on. Here, though, we have possibly my favourite, actually. Might be my favourite because it was my first Lego modular build. It's the barber shop / detective's office. So we've got Ace Brickman Detectives just there. I do love this set. It is gorgeous. I love particularly the pool sign there made out of bricks, and just the whole aesthetic of this set is gorgeous, and I love it. And I've got up here just two little criminals there doing nefarious criminal things with a Deadpool there, because I felt like putting him there. And that helicopter is from the weird thing Lego did last year when they were celebrating sort of travel and locations, and that's one of the things you can make from that. Coming back down here very quickly though, we have a little sort of corner. I've not got around to paving it. As you can see, I've paved most of these bits. You need sort of, to link it up to the road, you need extra paving sort of tile slabs, and I've not managed to get all of it because you need quite a lot of them, but I've got most of it. But anyway, this bit here is just my little corner of little merchant stands. So I've got this little cookie stand here, which is an amalgam of a few things I got from one of the year's advent calendars. And I've got a little hot dog stand and an ice cream stand, very sort of appropriate things for the beach. And let's move over here to a little building and the park. I'm very much a fan of this park. It's the first sort of big outdoor thing that I decided to build myself. And got the little nice wedding thing that I managed to find, and I think that's just lovely. And I technically made that to be me and Hilary because we're engaged to be married. Isn't it precious? So I just thought that looked nice there. I think that's lovely. A little park wedding. And there's actually came a couple of years ago. They did basically a park set where they sort of made loads of park-based minifigures, and there was a fountain with it, loads of other stuff. And this particular fountain, I replaced the statue with a weeping angel because I felt like it. I got the Doctor Who set and I'm terrified of weeping angels, so I thought I'd scare myself looking at my own Lego town. And then we've got the Penguin's car just there, actually, which is very, very cute. And he's got some nice projectiles that you can fire out of the front, because of course. Over here is the first of part of the Pet Shop set. So the Pet Shop set was a set from a few years ago that is actually unique in the sense that you can actually split it in half and have two separate modular bits like that. Now the reason I've split them up and put the other over here is because the assembly square set over here is actually 1.5 modular sets in size, if you want to. One of the guinea pigs just sneezed, and one of them's gone to sleep. They're so cute. So I think of it as sort of each modular set is 2 blocks wide, as it were. And this one here is 3 blocks wide, if we're using that metric. So yeah, so this sort of adds up to a nice round, even number that fits just perfectly on the table. So you can see this right at the end there. So if I'd have had the Pet Shop anywhere else, this would not have fit. But next to that one, that's just sort of a nice residential house. And I did have amalgam figures that you can have made in store, which are basically, you know, you can create your own minifigures and take 3 of them away. And I made myself and Hilary in the Lego store at the time. So we're in there somewhere. But next to it, we've got the lovely Parisian restaurant. Now, so I think sadly out of production, but a lovely set nonetheless. I got it while I was in production. And when the Halloween minifigure sets were going around, I had a load of gargoyles. I just kept getting gargoyles in these sets, and I put those on top. And then when I got Batman, Batman's not one of the gargoyles off to be there himself, because of course he has. Next to that is the second set I ever bought, the second big modular, which was the Palace Cinema, which is just lovely. It's up the top with my favourites, you know. It's really sort of nicely detailed. There's lovely things like the sort of lights down there and the little details you can put on the cinema there. You can actually make your own stickers for that if you wanted to. And then just a little thing I added at the top here is a nice giant gorilla that I got in one set. And I did, in fact, make a fun little sort of movie poster style thing for a Lego gorilla film. It's on my Instagram, if I remember correctly. And I just thought I'd put him up there. And then, you know, why the fuck not? Next to it, though, is the one I spent the most money on. I had to buy this second-hand, and it's the Grand Emporium is the name of the set. It's a big shopping mall. But I had to buy it second-hand because it had gone out of production before I got a chance to buy it, before I started getting modular sets. So I had to pay a ridiculous £350 to get a hold of this set. Utter madness. And when I got it, the bricks weren't sorted out in any way, shape or form, so I just had to go through a giant pile of 2,000-ish bricks to work out where everything was supposed to go. which is not useful, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, it's got a lovely little corner piece. I'm quite happy with this little, get out of the light slightly, quite happy with this little square that I built here. And got a load of mascots around, which fit quite nicely with the cinema. We're nearly at the end now. We've got but what is now nearly 3 years old in LEGO sets. I cannot believe that. It's the bank. It's the set before Assembly Square. And a lot of people really like it. There's certainly a lot to like when it comes to details. There's a little laundromat just around the right-hand side, which I'm not going to attempt to bring round for you to see. But it actually works as a money laundering business as well. There's a secret entrance into the bank vault from there. And yeah, I find the outside of it to be a little bit boring, but maybe that works in its favour because it's supposed to be a bank. But yeah, other than that, on the inside it's got some lovely little details. And finally, we've got the pet shop, the second half of that set there, which is just, you know, it's lovely. It's got quite a few little animal-based things. There's some bones there on the outside for dogs. And there's a pink fairy, like a tutu Batman, because Hillary wanted to put it there. So that's where it is. Anyway, so that, overall, is the LEGO Town at large. And just a little aside, all these bits under here, yeah, that all contains LEGO. The thing on the left contains, like, built models. So there's loads of, like, cars and different things that aren't out on display in there. And on the right, we've got loads of bricks, individual. They're all sorted out into their types. But yeah, there's a lot in there. The bottom one is just filled with bags for bricks that I only have a few of. So, yeah, there's a lot of LEGO. And then all the sort of little bit type things have spaces in here. There's 3 of those. That bit up there's for like the small Technic bits. That's just stuff I haven't sorted, and that minifigure box is full of minifigures appropriately. Now, to quickly move on, I'm going to go through some of the other bits of LEGO I have on display in my house. And I'm going to start with this little bit here. I say little. So behind the big fuck-off ship, we have 2 little room-shaped things, like sort of room cutout shaped things. We've got the Easter one and the Christmas one. And then up here we have the, Thanksgiving and the Halloween ones are all there. And then I thought appropriately for this boat, it came with a sunken ship, because this is supposed to be a deep sea trawler explorer type ship. So I thought I'd put them like that. So it's like that one's at the surface, that one's underneath, because I don't currently have the capability to make anything larger to display it properly. Although that boat does actually float. Just, interesting little tidbit. Because why not? Up here I've got some Star Wars pieces there, along with some nano block type things that sort of, it's not made by LEGO, but it's basically LEGO but tiny. I've got a few Pokemon, a Sonic, and then some more Pokemon on here with Pac-Man and one of the ghosts from Pac-Man as well. And then behind everything, I've made a really nice sort of linked up piece here, which you can just about see the whole of. And that is basically what I call it, my green belt. So it starts off with here. This house was built for it was celebrating a seasons theme, and then you've got a tree house, a mountain cabin with a mountain, and then on the other side a log cabin. So they sort of fit together nicely in that area. But that's sort of my green block. And at some point I plan on getting another table to fit in there and move all that stuff, and then I can sort of have extra stuff along there. I have plans, but it's finding the money and the time to do all that stuff. Moving out of the dining room where everything is, we're moving into the living room, where I have quite a few bits, including this LEGO glass ship in a bottle, which is absolutely stunning. I am a big fan of this set. It is gorgeous. It costs quite a bit of money. It was about £70, but everything there is made of LEGO. You have to make everything there, and it is very, very lovely. Also, just up here, we've got a little display of the animals. Sorry for the overexposure there. But, occasionally you get the odd little animal thing that you can buy. So we've got a bear with a heart, a bat, and 2 things there which I believe were for Easter. And then here we've got a lovely VW camper van, which took quite a long time to build. It's very nice though. Very, very lovely. It's got a lot of nice little details like that roof bit which raises up. It's just gorgeous. Over here as well I've got a Wally, and this Lego Wally is just adorable. I love him. And his front, I'm going to move the microphone away very quickly. The front opens up and he's got a nice little plant inside. What I loved is for them to make an eave to go with it, but they didn't, unfortunately. And his eyes move as well, and his neck and everything else moves, and it is just wonderful. The only downside, though, is that the neck that actually the set was designed with was a bit naff. It was not very good. It was just on sort of click joints as opposed to a ball joint at the top. So I actually looked up a replacement sort of build for the neck to sort of make it a little bit better, and fortunately it made it much better. Now for one of my favourite sets, one of the biggest sets. It's the Lego Saturn V. I lusted after this for basically a year, and pretty big. It is just over a metre tall. I had it displayed sort of on its side along here for a while, but I've changed that around because I wanted to make it a little bit neater. So it's now just like that, but oh my god, I love it so much. I love every detail about it. And it also came with a little lander just there, and a tiny little diorama recreation with the sort of, I believe they're called micro figures of the Apollo 11 astronauts, which is just absolutely lovely. And then on here we've also got the Women of NASA sets, so those three there are all important little dioramas of important people who have helped sort of NASA causes throughout the years, and that's good. I'm a big proponent of that. Just over here, just going to quickly point out the little TIE fighter, which is one of the TIE fighter prototypes came when The Force Awakens came out, and we've also got just a few sets along here. We've got the Mystery Machine there. We do have the Doctor Who set, which is lovely. I love this TARDIS set so much. It did come with the 11th Doctor, but it also came with the 12th Doctor in the wrong clothes, so I had to buy the LEGO Dimensions set just to even that out a little bit more. And then finally, the final thing I'm going to show you is up here. This is just wonderful. It is it's pretty new. It is the I don't know, it's about a year old now anyway, but it's one of the biggest Technic build I've ever done. I finished it yesterday. It took me basically 3 evenings to do it, and it's a big fuck-off car on tracks, and it's got so many interactive features, but I am not going to get it down to display them all because that would take me forever. But suffice to say, it's pretty damn gorgeous. And that then brings us to the end of the Lego Town Tour. I really enjoyed doing that, actually. I've had a few requests over the last couple of months to do it, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't subscribe to this channel. I don't do much on here, but I do a lot of content along in a channel called Gamecast, where I do a lot of video game related videos, including sort of news and a podcast and other things that I hope you would enjoy. So head over there if that interests you. Otherwise, I'll see you at some point for something else. I don't know what, and I don't know when, but it'll be something.